Hey everybody, it's me, Miss You, and we are going to be going over the study guide. Let's start off with the first one, and it says we want to move 4 units right and 3 units down, and that gives us, we're going to go like this. 4 units right for R is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 units down, 1, 2, 3. So this is our new point R. This is R prime, and once I have R prime, it's easy for me to sketch out the rest. This is a simple shape. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And this is P prime, and this is Q prime. So let's make sure again, Q prime, we're going to go 4 units right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 units down, 1, 2, 3, and that's Q prime. The next thing it asks is what is the rule, and of course the rule is xy becomes x plus 4 and y minus 3. Okay. Now let's do reflect over the line. X is equal to 2. We're going to go x is equal to 2 over here. This is x is equal to 2. And now we're going to reflect over it. 1, 2, 3. 3 in, 3 out. 1, 2, 3. And this becomes P prime. Okay. And now I'm going to just count 3 and get my 3 over here. So, and I have R prime and P prime. One thing I wanted to go back to one and talk about the corresponding letters. Over here it tells us it becomes EFG. That means instead of P prime, we should have put E. Instead of Q prime, we should have put F. And instead of R prime, we should have put G. Okay, and that's just an aside. Okay, let's go to the next problem. It says reflect over the x-axis, then translate. So first we're going to reflect, and then we're going to translate. So reflecting over the x-axis, I like to highlight the axes. And this is my reflection, count in, count out. And now I'm going to translate that. 7 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 2 units up, 1, 2. And this is where I get my P prime. And I see, okay, this is what my reflected shape looks like, and it is R prime and Q prime. Okay. Then next, we're going to reflect over the line. Y is equal to X. And let's draw that line. It is a line with a negative slope that has as the origin 0. Okay, this is my line, and to recreate that line, to reflect over it, you know you're going to end up in this area. And we're going to go down and then across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is my R prime. Okay. We're going to, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is 8 over here. Okay. And so this is Q prime. And the last one is P prime. I count down to the line of reflection. And this is 13. And now I want to count 13 this way. So this is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, and this is R prime. Oh, R prime, Q prime, this is P prime. Okay, and now I have my reflection. And I just want to remind you, let's look at the point R. R is 5, 2. Okay, and r prime went to -2, 5. -2, -5. That means that the rule for reflection over the line y is equal to -x is xy becomes -x, -yx, -x. So that is the rule for reflection. It didn't ask you, but it's going to ask you soon, and I wanted you to see it with points. Now we're going to rotate PQR 180 degrees. So the first thing I'm going to do it with tracing paper, okay? And I'll show you this other method soon. This is my 90-degree point. I have my 3 points. I'm labeling them Q, R, and P. And I'm going to do, it's 180 degrees. That's 2 quadrants. So this is 1. It does not matter the direction you're going. And this is 2. Okay, and now I'm going to figure out what my points are. Okay, R is -5, -2. And Q is -3, -5. Yeah, -3, -5. And my P is -7, -6. -7, -6. And I have my P prime, my Q prime, and my R prime, and we're just going to verify that. So I'm starting up here, PQR, here's 90, here's 180, and this is my P. This is my Q prime, and this is my R prime. Okay? Okay, so, and to remind you of rotating XY, oh, it asks, see here, to remind you, XY becomes -x, -y, -x, -y. So reflection over yx, here we have a reflection over y is equal to -x. I have -y, -x, -y, -x, and rotation over 180 is -x, -y. Not quite the same, but they both have opposite signs. So now we're going to look at the image of 4-1. This is after it's been translated to the left. Okay, so that means it got moved in this direction. So I'm 4-1. Let's say this is 4-1. And this is the final spot, and we're moving it to the left. So what we want to do is we want to add 6 to the value. So when we take away 6, we get 4-1. So here we are. The answer is 10-1. And if I translate it to the left, I get 6. This one, let's look at this one over here, number 7. Okay. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to plot the points D, E, F, and G. So -2, 7, 2, oops, -2, 7, 2, 3, 0, 1, and -4, 5. -4, 5 is up here. And so we end up with, I think, is a rectangle. Okay. And we want to translate it according to the rule x plus 6, y minus 8. So I'm going to just take all of my x's and add 6 to it. So this is negative 2 plus 6. I get 4. 2 plus 6. I get 8. 0 plus 6. I get 6. And I get negative 4 plus 6 is 2. Now to all my y's, I'm going to subtract 8. So that means I get negative 1, negative 5, negative 7, and negative 2. Okay, let's see, G, I have 5, it's actually negative 3. Okay, 5, take away 8 is negative 3. 1, subtract 8 is negative 7, so that's correct. Now we're going to plot these points. The other way you could do it is just count negative 6, plus 6, negative 8 for each one. So I would have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And that is point E. Okay, it gives us the same number. So this is E prime. I find it easier to do the calculations first, but whichever method you want to work at, it's perfectly fine. I have 4, negative 1. Okay, this is D prime. F is 6, negative 7. And 2, negative 3. And so this is my translated, this is G prime. So here I have, this is my translated shape. Okay. Let's graph the figure. So we're going to start off, after you translate it, then you're supposed to reflect it. So we're not even done. This has a then, first translate, then reflect over the y-axis. This is the y-axis, and we're going to go 1, 1, 1, 1. So I'm going to go 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 4, negative 4, and so this is D double prime, and E goes to negative 8. So this is E double prime. So this is actually my final answer. Okay, so of course all my points are going to change over here for my reflection over Y. Okay, so I'm going to take this point, and if you reflect over Y, Y stays the same. And this is going to become, so all my Y's stay the same, and all my X's are going to be negative. Okay, so these are my, so this is all negative. My Y stay the same, reflect over Y, Y stays the same. And now we are done. Let's look at number 7. It is also a 2-pointer. I think we figured out that D is off the page, so we're just going to eliminate it and create a triangle. And now we want a scale factor of 1/3 centered about the origin. So our new points, we're going to multiply by 1/3 or divide by 3. It's the same. So my A becomes A prime 0, dividing by 3, 2. B becomes negative 1, negative 2. C becomes negative 3, negative 2. Okay. Once I have those 3 points, we're then going to translate it. So all the X values we're going to subtract 5 from, and all the Y values we're going to subtract 1 from. So when I go through this, I have 0 becomes negative. Let me just. Okay, I just want to do it so you could see it. With my 0, it becomes, remember the rule is x minus 5, y minus 1. So my x value of 0, 2 becomes negative 5, 1. Okay? Because I took the 2 value and I subtracted 1. My b becomes negative 1, negative 2, so it's negative 6, negative 3. Okay? And c prime, or we're not doing d, c prime becomes, we're subtracting 5, negative 8, and then we're subtracting 1, negative 3. So let's write all these points down. We're going to write our original 0, 6, negative 3, negative 6, and negative 3, negative 2. Let me see if, yeah, negative 3, negative 2. Okay, and some people wrote in the 4th point, and that is fine. I think that was what I originally said to do, but I noticed more people did not write it in and just eliminated D, which I am okay with. Okay, as long as you understand it. Okay. So this is my original A. This is negative 2, negative 6 is B. Oh no, B is negative 3, negative 3, negative 6, that's B. And C is negative 9, negative 6. Negative, so it's negative 9, negative 6. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. My triangle, ABC, this is B. Okay, and my new triangle should be similar, look similar, but placed differently on the coordinate plane. So now I'm going to take my points, negative 5, 1, negative 5, 1, and any way you could do it, you have the freedom to do it any way you want. This is A prime. B prime is negative 6, negative 3. And C prime is negative 8, negative 3. Negative 8, negative 3. Okay? And this is my new shape over here. Okay? Smaller and placed differently. If you decided to do the new scale factor and then to translate each point separately, that is also correct. Okay? Let's turn the page for 9. Okay. 9, we're going to place our points. Negative 7, 6. This is C. D is negative 4. Negative 4, 6. Negative 4, 1. And F is negative 7, 1. So I have a little rectangle going on here. And now we're going to rotate 180 degrees. That's not about the origin. So I'm going to take my patty paper and set it up, or my tracing paper. Okay, there it is. And then I have C, D, E, and F. Okay, and I'm going to rotate it about the point negative 3, negative 1. Okay, and so I'm going to create a second origin at that point, and then I'm going to rotate it 2 quadrants. Okay, here's 1, and here's 2. Okay, so whoops, I'm low over here. This is what it looks like. Okay. This is F prime, C prime, D prime, and E prime. Okay. Now let's go on over here. I think we're done with most of the sketching. And this is 0.29 is the pre-image of D. Okay, we're reflecting over the y-axis. Y stays the same. Okay, I end up with -2, 9. Now we're reflecting. Now this is the point we want. What are the coordinates of n? We're going to kind of work backwards, but you don't really need to with reflection. So over the x-axis, we know x stayed the same. And we also know that the original point A has a -3 because when we reflected it, the sign changed. So now we're going to do Q. After reflection over the line, y is equal to x. So this is the number. I'm just going to show you here. This is 5, 1. 5, -1 is right around here. We're going to reflect it. It's right around here. We're going to reflect it over that line, so we're going to end up somewhere over here. Okay. And let's go back to our rule. Okay, we're going to count down and count out. Okay. When you reflect over, we have x, y, and the rule becomes -x, -y. This is this is for rotation. For a reflection, we have -x, -y. For a reflection, we end up with -y, -x. And when we plug in our values, we end up with +1 and -5. That is our reflected values, which makes sense. 1, 5. So it's going to be somewhere along here, which looks like a good sketch. Okay. Let's look at 12. Okay. I'm just taking point Y and figuring out where we're starting. We're going down and to the left. And so we're going from Y. So we're going down 3. So that's Y -3. And we're going to the left 1, 2, 3, 4. So I end up with x -4. And that is our rule over here. In this case, our rule, we're going to go start at R. We're going to go down to the right. So it is R plus x plus 1. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Y -7. And that will get you to where we want to go. Okay, keep going. Identify the line of reflection. And the line of reflection, 13, is over here. It's halfway in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's right over here. And of course, this line is y is equal to 1. And this one over here, you could already see it's y is equal to x. So I'm going to draw my line just to kind of show you. Y is equal to x. Okay? Let's look at identifying scale factor. Remember, scale factor is new over old. We did it before the midterms. That was the last thing we did. And you have to use a vertical or horizontal line. So we're going to use, I think I'll use a vertical line. And you want to create a right triangle. And we end up going from the big to the small. So the new over the old, or so it's new over old, which is equal to 2 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over 6, which is equal to 1 over third. And we're going to do the same thing over here. Okay. 2 over 1. And this is, if this is 1, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's new over old. You could use the vertical or the horizontal. You will get the same answer. And I'm going to use the horizontal, so it's 4 over 1, which is 4. Okay, that is the scale factor. Moving on to 15, give the coordinates of n, and I'm going to say n is 4, 1. This is n. N is 4, negative 1 after a 180-degree rotation, so that becomes 1, negative 4, because the rule is x, y. Oh, actually, 180-degree rotation, they stay, just the signs change. Negative 4, positive 1. And this becomes 4, 1. XY becomes actually negative x, negative y. So it's just opposite signs, same order. Okay. Now we're doing a 270-degree turn. Okay, and we're saying that L is the same as N, which is N is 4, negative 1. So if I'm starting off over here, I'm starting off in this quadrant. It's a clockwise rotation, so I'm going to go 3. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to end up in this location where everything is positive, and I'm going to end up with 1, 4, because x and y change positions. Okay? Let's go on to the next one. I'm just going to go start, end. Okay. We're going to graph this one out. Again, t is negative 6, negative 2. U is negative 3, negative 3. V is negative 4, negative 6. And W is negative 7, negative 5. Okay? So this is T, U, V. Okay? We want a 270 clockwise rotation. Okay, 200 counterclockwise. So that means we're going this way. So this is 90, 180, 270. We're going to end up in this quadrant. And for me to do it, I'm just looking. This is negative 3, 3. It's going to be over here. I'm going to end up with 6, negative 4 over here. You could either use tracing paper. I'm thinking of the numbers and flipping them once I know the quadrants. W is, so I want negative 7. I want it to be negative 5, negative 7. and t is -2, -6. This is t, this is u, this is v, and this is w. Very important with squares to mark the letters. Okay, and let's see if it works out with our tracing paper. Okay, here's my tracing paper. This is T, U, V. And I'm off by 1. Let me see. No, I got it. My lines weren't good. So these are correct. Okay, and I verified it with tracing paper, and that is another way to go about this. Let's look at 17. Again, we're going backwards. The answer is B, where I want to subtract. I think it's the same problem twice. 10 minus 6 is equal to 4, so we want to start off with 10. And of course, dilation does not result in a congruent figure. It's similar. Okay, that's why we did it with similar figures. So let's look at these. 180 degrees, it doesn't matter the direction, so it's x, y becomes -x, -y, and we're looking at point P. Okay, so that becomes -2, -4, which is B, and again, this is 90 degrees. Uh, 19 is an MCAS problem. Okay.